Hey Valerie, how you doing today? Good?
Hey Jordan. Yes, I'm really great. Thank you. How about yourself?
Good, good. What's happening in Adelaide in the real estate market right now?
Well, apart from torrential rain today, so hopefully that
Oh,
holds off while we're on record because it's quite noisy in the office with the rain.
yeah,
Adelaide real estate market is still going well, but like the nation, I think there's potentially a few little hiccups. Things are slowing down a little bit. So
yeah.
agents are having to really re-hone their skills on negotiation and also buyer management. So that's a really big thing.
Buyer management. That sounds fun.
Well, I think we've come from a marketplace, Jordan, where for a lot of agents, they stand at the front door of a house and they're pretty much, just getting offers coming in.
Yeah,
So, and there's not a huge amount of work that goes with that in terms of, nurturing a buyer, making sure they've been, databased effectively
yeah,
and, they've been really worked closely with.
yeah.
So definitely seeing in the marketplace, and you've really got to work well with your buyers and keep them close
Mm,
at this point, and also a lot more nurturing for your vendors because as days on market stretch out a little bit, they start to get really nervous. They need their hand held really well, and they also need some great education, which some of the newer agents who haven't been through things like the GFC and COVID, etc., don't actually properly know how to do that.
yeah, that's so true. And that kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about today because I've seen your stuff for a while now. I met you a few years ago at one of Lee Woodward's, I think,
Yeah.
complete leader conferences. We were both
Yes.
speaking there. Uh,
Yes.
and something that you do really well, and I've noticed online, is that you provide great information for buyers and sellers. And I think this is where the opportunity is in terms of social media, because a lot of it's just, hey, we got this price, or hey, I'm selling this, or we're doing the chicken dance outside a property. And and that's fun and it's entertaining and okay. But what I think is important is giving information to people who are, I remember when I sold my house and bought another, it was a scary time. And I had a great agent who really helped me, and I, called him probably too many times, but it
Yeah.
was just a really important thing to do. And I think that's an opportunity, because today we're going to be talking social media and content.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to kind of get ahead of that with people, give them that information that's going to make them feel a little bit more comfortable with this scary thing they're going through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got to work out whether you want to entertain or educate. So,
Yeah.
which one are you going for?
Yeah.
And like I built my career back in 2000 on working with first home buyers and
Mm,
actually holding their hand, helping them get into a home, and
mm,
then getting those resales 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years later because
yeah.
they just remember how well you worked with them, how you held their hand, how you educated them, how you were just
Mm,
real. And I built my first home when I was 19. And I remember my builder's rep, Heather, like if I was going to build again, she's probably not around anymore because it's a long time ago, but if I was going to build again, I would want a builder's rep like that who just sat down with me, taught me all I needed to know about, selections and process and
mm,
timeframes.
mm.
So that's something I brought into my real estate career when I was 27, is like just remembered how great she was. And I wanted to be like that for,
Yeah.
my buyers and sellers.
Yeah. Cool. So what do you think buyers want to see from their potential agent on, on social media? What do you think are some things that have worked for you, or especially at the moment with everything that's going on, what do you think
Yeah.
would work?
They definitely don't need to see the chicken dance. So it's a great question, and I'm working through a 27 video series that I filmed.
Wow.
Actually, it was probably about 12 months ago. It's taken me this long to, get it together and go, okay, well, I'm now ready to start launching these. And that's very much focused on the seller proposition. And like, let's not make it too hard. These were scripts that I got from Lee Woodward. So thank
Good
you,
old
Lee.
Lee. We love
Yeah,
Lee.
good old Lee. Absolutely. So I used those, made it really simple. My videographer had a teleprompter. You just got to get really natural at like working with a teleprompter. And I filmed them all in the same day. So it wasn't hard. We added B-roll into it. And so those were things like, moving from live mode to sell mode, you know, um,
I
what
saw that
happens if
one.
I,
Yeah, that was really good.
yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens if I don't get an offer straight up? Like how do we market a property? Talking
Mm,
about fees. It's an education piece for sellers. And
yeah.
some of those videos we'll actually use for our actual clients. So, we've also got internal videos that we utilize, which is like you've listed, great, what happens now? Or here's what
Mm,
to expect when I come out to appraise your property. We're going to uncover the hidden value. So, can you write a list of amazing things about your home that I may not
mm,
see when I get there? So I think education is fantastic. It makes people feel comfortable. It makes people
yeah.
understand that you're an expert in your field.
Yeah.
And the chicken dance doesn't do that. So that's
No.
entertainment.
Yeah.
I think we need to seek to educate our client base.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a buyer series as well because,
Mm,
as the market shifts, buyers want to know that they're working with an agent who knows their stuff and that they can trust. So I think it's really building that trust piece.
yeah. And the tricky part about social media is doing that really quickly. And I guess that's where I come in helping people, and I work with Amy Callister closely, the media coach. So we try
Mm,
and do those things
okay.
using B-rolls and small clips, but with the
Yeah.
info on it, because people are just scrolling so quick. And as much as those higher end videos are great and they're great
Mm.
for what you're doing, I think we're seeing a bit of a move towards quicker. It might not have the same production value, but it's the information quickly for people. So yeah, that's the tricky part. I think there's got to be a little bit of a shift towards that to stop the scroll, I guess.
Well, I think immediacy is something that
Mm,
we expect these days because everything's
mm,
so instant, everything's at our fingertips,
yeah,
and
yeah,
things are moving so quickly.
yeah.
So I work in Adelaide with a company called Perspective Media, and I've worked with them for years. So they've got so
Mm,
much footage that they can just cut in as B-roll
yeah,
for me if I need it. So
right. Perfect.
I'd recommend, obviously Emmy and yourself, like if someone
Yeah,
wants to work with you, you can get a whole bunch of stock footage of them in their office,
yeah,
them at openings, them at auctions, and that can just be consistently used.
yeah,
Then they can film if something happens. Like COVID was a great example. Like I doubled down on video content during COVID, and I literally just used an iPhone, and it was
yeah,
day by day updates for my team, but also for the marketplace as to what's
yeah.
happening.
Were they the ones
And
in your car?
some of those, yeah. So
Yeah,
they're
they were
probably
great.
later on the
Yeah,
car
we missed
ones. Yeah.
those ones. But
Oh
that's what I
yeah.
mean. Like it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have to be a big, yeah, great. If you're doing videos and you're doing property stuff and you've got the team there, yes, by all means, get all those clips. But I think those ones that are just the quick iPhone ones you're in your car or wherever, they're valid and they're really good. And I think that's what the algorithm tends to be working with, even though we're not chasing the algorithm, but that seems to work better. People just talking at the camera, I guess.
It does, and it's natural. And I
Yeah,
think it's really important to be yourself. And the
yeah.
top hint is most people think that real estate agents are wankers. Sorry for the
Yeah,
language, but
I
they
said that
just
yesterday
do.
in my other
Okay.
podcast.
Oh, did
Not that
you? Okay.
exactly, but I just said like you don't want to be perceived to be that way because that is the default for people who think, oh, it's all about their car and their watch and their whatever. And it's not. It's about helping people, you know, get somewhere. It's not all about that flashy stuff.
Absolutely. Now, I'm
Mm.
sure in some marketplaces it works if you've got a image of
Yeah.
you wearing Gucci and hopping into your like Ferrari.
Yeah.
But most marketplaces just won't tolerate that.
No.
And I think they want people to be genuine. And you're better off doing just a genuine snapshot and a
Yeah.
market update on, hey, I've
Yeah.
just done six opens, here's the suburbs, here's the numbers that came through, the market's
Yeah.
hot or we're slowing down, or here's some advice for you
Yeah.
than just something that's just fluff and about you and how cool you
Yeah.
are and how awesome you are. People don't want to see
Yeah.
that.
No. That's why I like I mentioned this as well is I love Ryan Serhant. I don't know if you watch
Yeah,
Owning
me too.
Manhattan, but he just seems so real. Yes, he's got a nice car and he's the clothes and whatever, but
Yeah.
that doesn't seem to be really about what he's about. Yes, he wants to do well and he wants to, I guess it's focusing on selling these big places and whatnot, but he does seem very real. And I just love that about him. And I just enjoy watching him for that, not even about the real estate piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is
He's
very
very
interesting. He's just
charismatic and
likable.
likable.
Yeah.
He is. And I
Yeah.
saw him speak on the stage at ARIC. He was
Oh, wow.
incredible, like an
Oh, awesome.
incredible at speaking, like really, really, and
Yeah.
just genuine. I hated him for the first two seasons of Million Dollar Agent or Listing or whatever it is, because it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
is this guy? But he grew on me. And then I
Mm,
kind of worked out, like he's doing this for entertainment. And,
mm.
you mentioned to me about the video that he's done about like, going viral doesn't get you business. And
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I think the thing there is that um, I mean, obviously he's done a lot of that to go viral, but he's been building concurrent businesses there. So obviously he was building his real estate business, which was through expertise and hard work and
Mm,
just knowing
mm.
his market. And you'll see that in his TV series, like he just
Yeah.
outdoes everybody. But
Mm.
then concurrently, he's been building his brand. So
Yeah.
brand Sirhan, which is I'm a speaker, my channel makes me probably oodles, and that viral content works for that side of his business, but
Yeah.
probably not so much his real estate business.
Yeah. Interesting. Um, so the next question, I'm just looking at my little list here.
Sorry, I think I jumped questions.
No, you didn't. No, no, you're good. You're good. Um, so just say the issue I'm having or the problem, and it's not a bad problem, but just say at the moment, say if I go out and an Emmy gives me a pre-production sheet and we've
Mhm.
basically, she's being paid by the agents to produce this content and she knows what works and I'm there to give her that content. But then the
Mhm.
agents have their own idea about what they should be doing and what works. And that's cool. I get that. I mean, it's their shoot at the end of the day. But what is it that you think agents really want to show? What's important to an agent to show up like on social media, do you think? It's a tricky
Mm. It's
question.
it's a really in-depth question. And I'll
Mm.
start that by saying, like real estate agents, because I've managed a team of real
Mm.
estate agents, and it's like herding cats. So
Yeah, love that saying. Yeah.
I love all you agents, but you are like herding cats, and that was my experience. And so they want the shiny product at the end, but they're also
Yeah.
getting distracted by all the other shiny things that are around.
Yeah.
I think agents need to be able to see tangible results of what you can produce and what that's done for somebody else.
Yeah.
They need to have a structure, and they want the content, but then kind of fitting that into a busy schedule can be really difficult.
Yeah.
And a lot of agents also just don't want to be on camera, and they like don't maybe
That
like the
baffles
look or the sound of themselves at the end
who
of
who
it.
does? Who does? I hate myself
Like,
on like I'm looking at this going, oh man, like it baffles me though because agents are people who need to be good at this stuff. I mean, you don't have to be on there every day, but you're dealing with people building a profile.
mhm.
and if you're not naturally good at this stuff or whatever, and I guess like anything, you got to practice it. And I understand people don't want to be on camera and things like that, but this
Mm.
day and age, you know, you're leaving so much on the table if you're not on social media. And that's why I chose you to speak to because you do it so well. And you've got to, I mean,
Thank
you've
you.
obviously practiced though, and you've spent a lot of time doing this stuff. And you have a nice speaking voice and you present, you know, you take care in your presentation and it's all those things, I guess. But yeah, it does baffle me a little bit that people are afraid to be on camera because most agents I meet are very confident, they're outgoing people. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
But that's different when you get to camera.
Yeah.
And I'm naturally a shy person, believe it or not. So I have to work really hard
No.
on I've worked really hard over the years to be the
Yeah.
person that I am
No,
today.
me too. Yeah.
But I remember going to Eric and Tom Panos was like, you've got to be on video, you've got to be doing content.
Yeah.
And this was probably maybe 7 or 8, probably 8 years ago. I
Yeah.
remember posting my first video. I was on the beach in the Gold Coast and I just did the whole, okay, I'm turning it around and I'm doing it. And I said, hey, this is my first video. I've just been to this great conference and it's saying this is the thing of the future. And I always like to be at the forefront of technology in everything I do in my life and business. So here's my first video.
Yeah.
And like I looked at it and went, oh my God, like that's just, and I just went, you know what, you just got to do it. Like I've just recently launched a new website for my coaching consulting side of the business,
Yeah.
valerietims.com.au. There's a little plug. I'm a
Just
salesperson.
a
I
little
can't help
plug.
myself.
Sure.
Exactly. And I was like, I'm not ready for the photo shoot because I've got to lose 10 kilos and I've got to go buy a new suit and I've got to do all of these things. And I was
And
like,
Jordan's in Sydney, you
do it.
know.
And Jordan's in Sydney. I know. I actually thought about flying to Sydney. I thought I just don't have time. I've just got to do this. So
Yeah.
I just went, let's just do it. And so I
Yeah.
think agents need to just be encouraged just to do it. You
Yeah.
got to make them look good. There
Of
is a
course.
gap there is a gap between having someone awesome like Imi with all the great ideas and content and then you filming the content. The gap is getting the agent to go, okay, I'm confident enough to do this. And I've
Yeah.
actually coached a lot of agents over the years. I remember doing a video workshop for Tim's Real Estate. That was my previous business. And because I was doing video and I was really working on those skills, and my team were just, oh, don't want to be in front of the camera. And so we did a workshop where I put them in a room for like 6 hours.
Mm.
We got video, we had a proper video camera, um, like filmed them, like did a first take and then coached them and trained them, and then did a second take and then spliced the two together and showed them the difference of what
Wow.
it is from when you first go, hi, I'm Valerie Timms and welcome to the property. Not that we
Mm.
do that anymore either. Or here's my, Saturday market update to them. Okay, I'm standing tall. I've got
Mm.
energy. I'm
Yeah.
smiling. And I'm putting some energy into this. And if you
Yeah.
miss a beat, that's okay. Just keep going. So
Mm.
that's probably a gap. Whether you guys can incorporate that into, your amazing business together, I think that would help agents. I think agents do need some help with just
Yeah.
being their best and shining on
And I
camera.
definitely try and help. Not that I'm a media expert, but I
Yeah.
guess when, you know, people do need guidance, and that's something I like doing. But yeah,
Mm,
I think it's just something, you know, we've all got to practice and to get better at. And yeah, take some tips or do a course or, you know, use a mentor to get better
absolutely.
at that. But I just think like I'm a musician and it took me ages to get over the nerves and the performance and all that kind of thing. And now I don't even think about it because I've been doing it for so long. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's definitely being prepared as well, I think is really important. Like if you get up and you don't know
Mm,
what you're saying, you're just not gonna have a clue. But if you got it in your mind and you're not needing to look at a teleprompter or whatever, but you kind of know exactly what you're saying beforehand
yeah.
really helps as well, I think.
And
And
I
the rest
think
is coachable, like, you know, how to actually Lee's doing a course in September, I think,
I'm
on
going.
speaking. Oh, really? I might go as
Yeah, yeah.
well.
I was
Maybe
the
I should
first one
go.
who booked in.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go. We'll see. And you're still learning and you're still pushing yourself. And
absolutely.
this is what learning never stops, does it?
It's ongoing.
Yeah.
We're never finished. It's never done. Like we're
No.
continuously moving and growing and evolving. So I think for agents, they just need to be the best version of themselves, the most energetic version of themselves that they can
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
and not think that it has to be completely scripted. So if you were sitting in a lounge room trying to
Mm.
list a property, are you naturally speaking and being yourself? Well, that's you've got to translate that to your video
Yeah.
and go, well, if I'm trying to get a point across, I need to know my stuff.
Yeah.
I need to have maybe had a bit of a run through beforehand and then not try and do it verbatim on camera. Just be yourself and say the things on camera. And you guys can
Yeah.
edit too. Like you
Yeah.
mess it up, you can stop and then start again.
Well, that's the thing too. A lot of the time, like I'll do videos and B-rolls and I'll send them because Imi's team does the edit. And then people like, oh, they kind of freak out. But it's like, that's we're going to be using like 1 second of each of those like to put together. So I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. Don't be too critical of the raw footage. Like look at the edit or what can be done first. So
I
yeah, I
think
think that's
absolutely.
important. Yeah. Hey,
Most agents are control freaks and most agents are control freaks, but they just need to trust the
really?
process and trust that you guys are expert at what you
Yeah,
do and
exactly.
just trust that. Yeah.
Hey, something that's not really my lane, but I wanted to ask about these property videos I'm seeing. Uh,
Mm,
where it's like you're zooming through and it's and it's all these crazy edits.
mm,
And I just wonder, do they work? I mean, I know you don't do that. I've seen your videos and
mm,
they're really nice and they're complimentary, but I don't know. Is that something people do just for the sake of editing like that to get attention, or
mhm.
do you think they actually have a valid place?
Yeah, look, I think there's a functionality of a property video that we can't forget. Like it
Yeah.
is not just for the agent's profile. They are really good for the agent's profile.
Yeah.
But the functionality is if you're a buyer
Yeah.
and you are wanting to get a full scope of a home, you're going to look at the beautiful photos. You can definitely look at the floor plan,
Yeah.
probably the drone. And then the video is just that beautiful add-on that if they've
Yeah.
already been to the property, like I know when I buy, like I want every piece of information and I'll watch that property video maybe 10 times just to see if there's anything I've missed. If it's zooming and making me feel like I want
Sounding
to
like a
vomit from
control
motion
freak there,
sickness,
Valerie.
I am an agent. What can I say?
No, it's cool.
True,
I would
true.
do the same thing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we can't forget that we're doing a job.
Yeah. That's
We've got
right.
a
Yeah.
role here. We're not movie stars.
No.
We're not doing everything for
Yeah.
attention. I feel that yeah, there's a bit of a line that probably gets crossed. Just everyone's trying to
Yeah.
one up each other. Like
Yeah.
just
Th-
be real, just be raw, just do the job.
That's
And
what
you'll
I
win the
think.
respect
Yeah.
from that.
I
Yeah.
think that's so true as well. It's how you show up. And I do see a lot of this. Yeah. People are wanting to be like, people they see online, whether they're agents here or overseas. And it's like, I
Mm,
get that. I get that people might want to aspire to that. But yeah, if you're selling a suburban property,
yeah.
people are looking at that going, well, they don't want to see that. They just want to see the info and have an angle that's your own and make it your own, even if that's a really simple thing. Uh,
Hmm.
just being yourself, I guess, is important.
Agree.
Um,
I think you've got to look at your personal brand. What is
yeah,
your personal brand? If
yeah,
your personal brand is doing the chicken dance, then go for it. And there's an agent in Adelaide, great guy, Andrew. He made his business on doing some crazy videos where he was like wearing a mankini by the pool, and then he had this full James Bond. set up. And it was he got on Today Tonight. Like, he really
Yeah,
got some great profile for it. And I think that probably set his business up. And that's his
really.
personality. He's a bit quirky
Yeah,
and that works for him. I think he also does
right.
some regular property videos too. And I
Mm,
had a great business coach once, Rod, years ago, who, when I was working with Tim's, like starting Tim's, and there was we were doing some interesting marketing and things that were getting attention. And, he said, you've just got to be careful not to cross the line from quirky to wacky.
yeah,
And there's a line. And, it's okay to be a bit interesting, a bit quirky, but you don't want to be wacky in real estate because we're dealing with people's biggest asset. It's a serious
yeah,
thing.
it is. Yeah.
And, we need to take that job very seriously.
Cool. Great info. What else have I got here? So yeah, that kind of plays into that thing because about views versus leads, because I know that people think, oh, great, my video got 20,000 views. Like I photographed a Greek festival the other day, something random, and put it
Yeah.
on. I put a bit of a video on. Whoops, I've lost one more. Sorry, try that again. So yeah, so I got shared this video and it's had so many views, thousands of views, but no
Amazing.
lead. I haven't had any leads though. I haven't had anyone hit me up from it. So I think it's important that, yeah, we want targeted suburb-based information out
Yep.
there as part of the social. And that's what I do when I do these B-rolls, and I do grabs, which are short speaking parts to camera, and it
Yep.
might say
Yep.
these three things are, trending, like, or if you're an investor and you're looking to buy in suburb, these are the three things you need to look out
Yep.
for, something like
Mm.
that. And then the information's down below, and it's very quick, and it might just be the agent walking through in slow-mo or something like that. It doesn't have
Yep.
to be this long babble on camera about, because people aren't interested in that anymore. I think it's got to be pretty quick.
I think so. And I think a lot of my videos are a bit long. I try and
Mm,
keep them under 2 minutes where you possibly can. But those
mm,
quick information grabs are awesome.
yeah,
And I think for the younger generation, they just won't watch a 2, 3 minute video.
they
They don't
won't.
have the
No,
attention span too. And,
no.
we still, 25 and up, we still do have people transacting property. And I think, they're the generation, like if you're in real estate now, you probably want to start working on TikTok for that
Yeah,
generation for when they're starting to resell
yeah,
potentially, or even, become buyers in the next sort of
mm,
5 to 10 years. And real estate, it's a
yeah,
long game. We're not in
mm,
it for a short term. If you're
yeah,
in it for the long term,
yeah,
you can really build an incredible business with business that generates and comes back. And a lot of my videos, like I go, oh, did anybody even watch it sometimes? Like, did I, I might have had a few likes. But then when I stopped doing them, so I was doing a Sunday market update for quite a bit of time just after COVID, and then I eventually stopped them because it was Sunday and that was my day off, and I, just wanted to change up the process. But so many people said, "Oh, I haven't seen your Sunday market update." I'm like, I didn't
yep,
even know you were watching it. And they're like, yeah,
yep,
we watched it every week. And I'm like, but I
yep,
couldn't see that. And I didn't see you liking the content. So you don't know how many
yep,
people are actually engaging,
yeah.
especially on, platforms like Insta. You don't know who's engaging, but people are. And you've just got to keep doing it and keep putting that content out because it builds your brand and it's the unknown. It's like doing a
Yeah,
letterbox drop. You can put 5,000 letterbox drop out in a big suburb and like do it once and you get nothing, but do it 10 times and eventually people are going to start calling you because they've seen your information.
it's
Um,
the yeah, it's the touch point thing. It's like I think it's what, 7 or 9 or some number of touch points people need to see before they buy, or it could be a product.
Absolutely.
Um, and I think, yeah, that's a really good point. About that, your famous car updates. What I think is really good too is that novelty. It's not a novelty, but it's like, when you see something online and they do the same thing each time, like they'll be in the same position, or they
Mm.
might have a prop or whatever it is, and that immediately says to your brain, oh, yeah, okay, I know what this is going to be. And if I'm interested, I'm going to stick around. And, you do it in your car, and I don't know if it's the same spot or different spots, but it had
Yeah.
that familiarity of, and that's why I mentioned that, because I used to watch her. I'm not even interested in real estate in Adelaide or anywhere at the moment, but I would watch it because I thought, oh, it's interesting. So
Oh, you're
it
making me
is
go
good.
back to my car updates. I'm going to start doing them again because I
100%.
stopped
Do
doing
it.
them.
Do it,
Okay,
or do a different,
done.
like do a different one. Maybe, I don't know, or it could be it could be in a cafe, or it could be like, it's just an idea where if you're doing the same type of thing in the same spot or the
Yeah,
same idea, it definitely like has that consistency thing that works. And I
does.
really think that's a good idea for people to do that.
Consistency is critical. And that's what's
Yeah,
hard for
yeah,
agents. Even for myself, I kind of look at it
yeah,
and go, my socials could be so much better. And I am sort of doubling down on it at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah,
And I've gone through fits and starts with it over the years. But the trick is just keep going.
yeah,
You can't give up on it.
yeah.
And I remember years ago going to a conference where they said if you don't, I think it was Paul Tonich was speaking, if you don't
Mm,
start in socials now, you are going to be so far behind in 5 years'
yeah,
time. You
yeah.
just won't be able to catch up.
So I think the takeaway for agents who might be watching this is just get started and do something. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a complex setup. It can be, like you said, just holding your phone up and talking. I did that podcast with Lisa Novak yesterday, and
I
she
was going
said
to
she
say,
just started just, and I still tell her that, your camera's right in your face, like move it back. Oh, it's so
well,
funny,
I
but it
mean,
doesn't
Lisa's
matter.
a
But it's
classic
effective. Yeah,
example.
yeah.
She's a classic example.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
go and look at Lisa's stuff because she just went in there and did it. And she's become this
yeah,
sensation. She's one of the hardest working and most
yeah,
incredible women I know. I know her personally, and
yeah.
she is just she gets in there. She works hard. She's not afraid just to go like this and too close to the
No.
phone, but like she sells properties from it, and she's become a sensation. It's amazing.
Well, it just shows it's the information. She's got good info, doesn't have to be polished or perfect looking,
Yep.
and she's yeah, that's it. And she makes it interesting. It's punchy and it's quick, and I think that's the key. Just about running out on my Zoom time here, but
Yeah, sure.
give us a plug. What are you working on? You've got your mentoring happening at the moment. Tell me a bit about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, great. So I actively sell real estate in a team with Owens Castley, OC in Adelaide.
Yep,
But I'm also branching out into coaching, mentoring, training, public speaking, and working with agents to elevate their career. So you can look up valerietims.com.au. I can work with people across the nation. I recently did a podcast with Lee Woodward, which was really
yep.
fun. And yeah, I am really happy to coach anybody who wants to elevate their career.
Oh, and they should be grateful to have you as a coach, I would say, because you definitely know what you're doing.
Thanks,
Cool. All right.
Jordan.
Yeah. Well, great
But
chatting
back,
to you
but back
today.
to
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to agents and herding
Yep.
cats.
Yep.
I think if any agents are listening to this podcast, you've got to have the right people on your side. You've got to have a team who are going to make you do and stay committed to what it is that you want to do. And the best thing you can do is get people in socials and people like, Jordan, to be filming you. And that's what I've got back here in Adelaide.
Yeah.
My company, they make sure that like they're getting B-roll whenever they can. Like the
Yeah.
market update I just filmed, I just piggybacked that off of a property video that I was doing. I sent them a script the night before and said, guys, I want to film this tomorrow. Bring the teleprompter and we'll make
Yep.
it happen. And
Yep.
literally 2 minutes of my time
Yep.
on the back of a property video, and I've got content that I can put out. So
Yep.
I think if you get started now, you'll be so grateful in 2 years' time that you did.
Excellent. Good advice. All
Thank you.
righty.
Thanks for
Well,
having me, Jordan. It's great
yeah,
to see you again.
yeah, and hopefully I'll see you at Lee's thing, and we can we
We
can
can
write
rock the
notes.
stage together.
Yeah, I was going to say more like critique each other, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you'll win. Uh,
It's
yeah.
not a competition, Jordan.
Oh, it is. It is. No, I'm joking. All right. Take care, Valerie. I'll talk to
Thank
you soon.
you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay, bye.